We expect the most sophisticated talk to come along, where we have to take 1,000,000 notes in order to keep everything, because that's what we want. But if we hear something simple and people tell us, you know, that the only thing that we are here to do is to become a saint, oh, that is a pretty boring talk, because that is not very interesting, right? That is not very challenging. I need a challenging speaker that brings me into the depth of theology and shakes me up and inspires me to go and take 10 years of schooling so that I can be as articulate and sophisticated, and so that I can express my theology in such a beautiful and intelligent way. Oh, that's what I want. But I don't want anybody to come here and tell me all I have to do in order to fulfill all the scriptures and to embrace all revealed truth and to do what Jesus wants me to do is to become a saint. Oh, how could that be so simple? But I tell you, that is what it is. There is nothing else going on under the sun. We know that the only thing that's going on is right here in this tabernacle, and it's called Jesus. And it's the Eucharist. And it's there, the power, the presence, the healing, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Shepherd of Shepherds. And we got it, and it's all we got. And there is nothing else going on. Everything else is not real. Everything else is going to come to pass. So therefore, if we are not focused on making it there in the heart of that tabernacle, to go there, deep in there, and be part of what he gave us already, then we are just beating around the bush, and we are never going to make it inside. And we are not going to be able to see his face ever. And I tell you, you could spend the rest of your life on your knees. You can pray as much as you want. You can even be charitable. You can even give everything you have and own right now. But if your aim is not to become holy and saint, you are doing nothing and wasting all the things you're doing so religiously. Because religion alone is not going to save you. You have to become real, a real son of God, a real friend of God. You have to commit yourself to give up everything that is wrong with you. Everything. There is no negotiating. There is no gray zone. You either belong to God or to Satan. There is nothing in the middle. But we live in a world that is so weak spiritually that even some areas of Christianity are preaching a plastic Jesus. A Jesus that came here to give us prosperity and deliverance, healing of the liver and straightening of the crooked legs and whatever, but not healing of the heart and conversion of the heart that takes us to holiness and takes us to heaven. We have to preach a real Jesus, a Jesus that came here to get us to walk on our toes. You never read in the scriptures any passage where Jesus was congratulating the apostles. Do you remember any passage where Jesus threw a party for Peter and the apostles because they were wonderful? They were great. Oh, I love you guys. You are wonderful. Let's have some wine. Yes, and some cookies. Right? That's not written in the gospel. Everywhere you read about Jesus and the apostles, Jesus was keeping them on their toes all the time. He was telling them, man of little faith, don't fall asleep lest you be put through the test. And everywhere, left and right, was he unjust? Is he not a good God? Oh no, he is just. He is perfectly just, and he is perfectly good. He is perfectly merciful and compassionate. But we have to realize there is not such a thing as holding on into the changes, into the real changes. If we are here today, it's because the Lord called us. And the Lord called us and to tell us who we are today. And we have to take a good look at ourselves. And we have to realize who we are. We know, and I always say this everywhere, we know that Jesus looking at us from that tabernacle right now, he takes a good look around like this, and he says, yes, they are my children, but I didn't create them like this. So there So we know we have to straighten up and change, each one of us. Like St. John says, he who says he's not a sinner is a liar. So therefore, we all know that we are sinners. Even though some people wake up thinking they are so holy. But I tell you, yes, we may be walking on a path of holiness, because if we obey God and walk on his tracks, we are truly walking on a path of holiness, and eventually at the end of this journey, the Lord will complete us and will make us holy, truly holy. But now we're still running the race, and we still have a lot of battles to conquer, and we still have a lot to walk, and none of us know how long it is and how much is left. But one thing I know from what the Lord has revealed to me, I know that whatever we start right now on this earthly life, if we walk with God, it will never end. We will continue working on what we're doing now, because this is the kingdom of God, and it's a kingdom that will never end. So we see here people that was here 300-400 years ago, and they are united with us. They are now in a higher hierarchy because they were in wings already, but they are fighting shoulder to shoulder with us. We cannot see them, but they can see us, and they are here, and they are working with us. So the job won't end when this is over. The job will just begin in its fullness. So that's why whatever you start doing on this earthly life, you will continue doing, because this is a kingdom, and the kingdom never ends, and we are enlisted in an army that has no end, the mightiest army, the army of God. And this is the greatest honor. That's why it's devastating and horrifying to see a Catholic or a Christian walking with a lying face, like a face that looks like it's condemned. It's the most horrifying thing. How could you, when you have been given the greatest gift ever, how could you be like that? How could you deny Jesus' divinity in your heart? I tell you, every time you let yourself lose your joy and your peace and your hope, you are actually denying the divinity of Christ. That's what you're doing. So we have to wake up and wear what has been given to us. God has given us the most precious gift. He gave us Christ. And Christ is the light, the power, the joy, the hope, salvation.